It really seems like Sony is on a warpath to destroy all the money that they had. It started off with Concord, then it slipped into Marathon. Yesterday we had the greatest announcement of the recent decade, which was obviously God of Wife Laundry. And now, well, they decided to somehow destroy easily one of the most manliest things, even though Logan canonically is like 5'7" or 5'4" or something like that. Okay, he literally does not register on the human scale in destroying Marvel's Wolverine. And I remember seeing this initially, and I didn't even remember. Why did I find this dodgy? Turns out Sweet Baby Ink's involved. Yes, yes, absolutely. Sony is really on a generational warpath here, boys, it seems like. And you know it's gonna be bad. Have you seen how Jean Grey looks? Well, I mean, there's also connotations to Jean Grey actually being like your sidekick in this game because Logan has always kind of been in the corner chair that Idubbbz usually sits in the hotel or in his house or anywhere, honestly, when it comes to Jean Grey. So the fact that it's very strange, okay? It's very interesting to say the least.
When evaluating the new Wolverine game that's coming out from Insomniac this fall, it is important to remember who consulted on this turd.
They're here.
Sweet Baby Inc., the central figure in Gamergate 2 from a few years back, was well known to have been a consultant on the previous Insomniac game Spider-Man 2, and I doubt very much that it was a coincidence that in that game we suddenly had Pride.
By the way, I always thought this is strange before I knew that Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. It's the fact that your opponents are quadruple amputees. I always thought that's a little bit strange, you know? I always thought that that's a little bit out of place. You know, I understand the fact that they can replace their arms and legs with cybernetics, but just the fact that you looked at these Mexican Zoomers, and it's so emphasized that these are prosthetics, not like actual upgrades to your human body. Oh, now it, in my mind, perfectly makes sense.
Flags all over the place, and Spider-Man was consistently put in positions where he had to be bailed out by Mary Jane, who, by the way, was transformed so that in the first game she looks like this, which is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, this was great. People loved it.
This looks like the ultimate girl next door that Mary Jane was always meant to be, but they changed it so that in the new game she looked like this.
And the attitude was even worse. The attitude was way, way even worse. And by the way, my favorite thing about these types of moves is the fact that these people are like, "Oh, how dare you notice the fact that there is a difference between the first one and second one? How dare you? And how dare you point out that the second one is worse for no apparent reason other than political pandering? How dare you?" I like the fact that they're also calling you out for the fact that you have a functioning brain, and you can tell that this is a little bit different from this, you know? And I'm obviously using the term little bit loosely here.
This, which is the ultimate old hag from the forest who wants to eat your children.
You're the ugliest thing that's ever lived.
Well, this was a tweet from Sweet Baby's social media team several years ago. They wrote,
Thwip and also Snicked. So excited and grateful to say we're part of the teams bringing Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine to life with the amazing folks at Insomniac Games. It's been a truly marvelous experience.
I love how Sony is seeing all of this happen. The money just literally getting burned by every metric possible. I wouldn't even be able to fucking spin this as a win, okay? And I have done that a lot. I have I have done that as a literal job. You can spin a lot of things, but this is hard, okay? This would be a challenge. Would be an interesting challenge if I'm real, but yeah, it's really hard to spin literally at this point like years and years of failure and repeating said failure and completely ignoring all feedback multiple times and yet failing in the same exact ways as a positive spin in any way. How the hell is Sony just ignoring all of this and letting the money burn is wild. It's like this almost seems like pure activism, to be honest. And that's when you don't care about the money at all. You just burn it because you think whatever you're doing is worth the burn, but clearly it's not.
And then, here's an article from a few years ago where the narrative designer for Wolverine was actively defending Sweet Baby during Gamergate 2. Clearly, Insomniac has deep ties to Sweet Baby, which helps explain why, when Wolverine images were leaked a few years ago, we saw that the Jean Grey character model looked like this.
Oh yeah! I forgot about this. I actually did cover it. They said that this is a placeholder, so don't you worry, Chud. Yes, beautiful.
Hold it, what the?
A placeholder, Jean Grey from Marvel's Wolverine. Friend of the channel, by the way. Great placeholder. My favorite, in fact. We talk often. Great placeholder. The best.
Hell is that shit?
Well, naturally, there were a lot of people saying that this was just an early model for the character and that we shouldn't read too much into it, but I think there's a reason that the people at Sony went out of their way to not reveal Jean Grey in their first official trailer for the Wolverine game several months ago. They realized it would be very controversial and they wanted to ease people in to their new design for Jean Grey. And here it is, folks. This is Jean Grey in the new Wolverine game. She looks like a tired old soccer mom who divorced her devoted husband.
No. There's something a little bit at least hot about soccer moms. You know, the desperation. This does not even seem desperate, okay? This seems like the walls the walls are dry, okay? It's not just a dry wall. It's the fucking pyramids.
Father of her kids a few years ago because she was just bored, and now she's in a perpetual bad mood because the grass wasn't greener on the other side.
No. She's posting on Instagram how great her life is, losing her children and all of that stuff. You know those CEO women that always post, "Oh, I'm so happy being 45, single, without children. And look at this, I had such a great time. These two random dudes banged me yesterday. It was great. Fulfilling lifestyles galore." That's my favorite. Because you can find these, but you can't find a 60-year-old who says, yeah, I actually love the fact that I'm still alone and dying. It's great. This is what this reminds me of, so it's worse, I would say.
So she wants to spend all the rest of her time lecturing me on pronouns or some shit. This is the only type of female character that Sony and PlayStation feel is safe to show on screen these days because apparently the makers of their games have an aversion to a particular depiction of female characters.
Absolute disaster.
Alright, me hearties, do you know how you can very blatantly tell that these people...
By liking the video right now, takes less than a second, and it greatly helps out the channel. 10 out of 10. Everyone who does it, thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Have intentionally, at Insomniac, made Jean Grey ugly for their own reasons. They have intentionally abandoned the typical gaming audience. Do you know how you can tell that? Look at how effortlessly they made the character Jean.
Oh yeah, I remember. I saw a post about this yesterday, by the way. That people, that this is how easy it is to make her attractive. You're not even, by the way, you're not even doing the gooner bait or anything like that. This is just from Marvel Rivals. This is just how easy it is to make an attractive character and not even push it over the edge if you don't want to. It's so easy.
Grey look good in a game like Marvel Rivals. That is a title which infamously has no problem using attractive female characters in order to try to sell their game. They know what gamers want, and that is what they give us. Jean was always meant to be a redhead bombshell, the sort of character so good looking that she had Cyclops and Wolverine fighting over her. And now take a look again at this iteration of Jean Grey and tell me, does this look like a redhead bombshell? Is this the sort of person who has two alpha males fighting
Well, I mean, it does seem like a bomb, but not the good type.
over her? She looks like a dude who put on a wig, or like an angry middle-aged divorcee, but I will give them this, I guess. At least they didn't also race swap her, as so many other entertainment companies.
Listen, I'm gonna be real, okay? At this point, they should. They should just do. Why honestly not at this point? Okay? Bring in a fucking Anita Sarkeesian also. Like, what do I care? I said that Marathon should bring her in. Not like it can get any worse. At least it would be funny.
Companies have been doing with redheads lately. But now I want you to take a look at this. It doesn't take much to see how they intentionally made Jean into what looks like a grandma. Take a look at this.
It's not even a grandma. Am I the only one completely not missing the man facial features? Like, the whole part, like, her whole face looks just like a man.
AI iteration of the character, as you can see on the right side, versus what they did in the actual game on the left.
I don't believe anyone is looking at this and not saying, wow, that is a face modeled by a man. There is no way.
That on the right looks comic book accurate. Or, here is another person posting their AI fix of Jean Grey. That looks pretty.
I wondered what the prompt was. Make this look like a female? Because that's all that it is. It's not that hot, by the way. It's just not that hot. The nose is smaller, the lips look normaler, the jaw is rounder. Not whatever the fuck diamond cutting tool this is supposed to be.
Similar to the design that they had from the game from a costume perspective, but she is decidedly not a frumpy old woman who looks like she wants to lecture me about feminism or something. And here is another AI fix that I came across. Quite obviously, this is extremely fixable. The studio just went out of their way, though, to deliver us this vision of the character for reasons that are simply asinine. Here is a clip, though, that surfaced a few years ago featuring...
By the way, we need to stop with this absolute red flag bullshit. Is this actually a thumbnail? I think that... We need to stop with this red flag BS, by the way. When it comes to just purple. Have you noticed that every Vogue game, for some reason, has just an abundance of the color purple in it nowadays? I don't know why. Look at everything. Dragon Age Whale God, purple. Laufey, purple. Everything is just purple for some reason. All of these things are getting over, and for some reason they really love purple, which is a problem because my favorite color is purple, and they're giving purple a bad name, and I can't have that, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I can't have that.
Kim Belair, the founder of Sweet Baby Inc., explaining to the people at the Game Developer Conference back in 2019 what their mentality is with regards to giving gamers precisely what we don't want in video games because...
Wait. Bruh, what the fuck is this? Wait. Is Logan canonically now, alcohol baby? No fucking mouth bridge. Non-existing lips. No facial features whatsoever. Bro, did they make Logan canonically a fucking alcoholism syndrome child? That is insane!
Don't want in video games because social justice or some stupid shit like that.
Oh boy.
Content. It's a conversation about demographics. And I think that in our industry and in so many creative industries, if you want to look at film and television and any art form, we start treating our core demographics as a fixed and static value, something that does not want to change and something that is locked in place. So despite like the changing face of audiences, despite the changing face of conferences like this one, we still look at our core demographics and say, okay, they're white, cis, hetero males. And we cater almost exclusively to them.
I wonder
and
why.
The problem is that we don't just cater to them like, you know, here's something that we think you'll enjoy. We cater to them the way that we cater to like a picky baby. We feed them the same thing that we know that they love, and we keep on feeding it. We're like, here you go, you love it, eat this, eat this, eat this, so that then when they get anything else, they react as a picky baby would, which is be like, oh, no, thank you, I do not want this. And we've actually...
Wait, again, I love technically listening to these people speak, because every single time I hear them, it's just insanity. Not the first time I hear this, by the way. So, the thing about what she's saying is essentially, she's effectively, to simplify this if anyone's missing it, because a lot of people are watching this and not thinking too much about it. So, the too long didn't read this. She's effectively saying, we have a group of people that will like this product, but we could make them not like this product and make it for different people and push things that they don't want in the product. And that's somehow supposed to be a good thing. And well, the reason why they think it's a good thing is because they see the people who like the things that they like and don't like the things that they like as bad people. So, obviously, they need to push the right things.
We've done this so long that what we're doing is creating an entire nation of picky babies, and they make us scared to deviate from what we actually want to do, just in case these picky babies don't want to play our games. But I do like to imagine that when we look at white guys, and there's several of you here, I think that when we look at you, we say, okay, you can't possibly enjoy this, but I think they want also, and maybe you want also, to experience new and different stories. I think we need to step out of this rule that like white men can enjoy fantasy worlds, aliens, sci-fi, monsters, anything, so long as it's through a lens that looks exactly like them. Because if that's the kind of person that we're always going to cater to, you're never going to innovate. You're never.
And I love the absolute just blatant disrespect and disregard to reality, because she's just implying that every single game that has ever been made is fucking Duke Nukem forever. Not forever, but the good ones. You know, she's kind of just implying that every game since the beginning of time has been that, and it has never been different. How about all the literal thousands of examples of games that don't cater to that and men still absolutely love? How about that? Who do you think fucking played Life is Strange? The original one, not the bad and woke ones. Okay? Who do you think played it? It was me! It was me! Men like me! And we had a blast. We loved it. Fuck, I've been demanding more lesbian teen simulator school games forever since then. And you haven't given them to me. So now that I like the thing that you think I should like, but you're not making it anyway, what the fuck is this?
Never going to change things. You're just going to keep feeding the picky baby.
That is who we are dealing with here. Sweet Baby Inc. is a company which goes out of their way to ensure that gamers do not get what they want in the name of representation. Mystique was revealed in this Wolverine game several months ago, and she looks atrocious as well, so I guess this new Jean Grey fits in nicely with that design, but
I don't think I have seen the Mystique, by the way. In any case, it's not good. You know, if one woman in the game looks like that, the other ones are also probably gonna look like that, so... yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Well, I mean, that's kind of the force for Sony. Microsoft went through this, they're still going through this, and Sony's now full on embracing that stuff. Great. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was Dr. Disaster. Have a nice day. Bye!